Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Mastery Transcript Consortium Virtual College Fair. We're really excited to have you participating in this event with us. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Sarah. I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use, and we encourage you to use, the Q&A button on your screen to type any questions to our presenters throughout the session today. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at stridescan.com/mastery. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Reed College.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. And hello, everybody. Really glad to be here with you today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. Right. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. So my name is Grant Sewell. I use he, him pronouns, Associate Dean of Admission at Reed College. And Reed College is a small liberal arts college. We're located in the city of Portland. So it's a community overall about 4 million people in kind of the greater Portland metro area. And this is kind of an overview of the campus. So it's about 115 acres. This kind of greenway space called the Reed Canyon runs right through the center of campus. But you're surrounded by quite a lot. You can see the mountains in the distance, kind of the other bird's eye view. You can see the cityscape of downtown Portland, which is about 20 minutes away. So I think students are in a great position to kind of benefit from some of the different internship opportunities, research opportunities that Portland can offer, in addition to just being in a well-connected city. Really easy to get around with public transportation. It's a very bikeable city. It's very walkable. But the campus itself, it's very green. It's very natural in terms of its environment. And we're a pretty small and tight-knit community. So overall, we have about 1,500 students on campus. Nice thing to know with that is the majority of students at Reed are undergrads. So perhaps like yourselves, pursuing a bachelor's degree. That is the overt focus at Reed, is really on that kind of undergraduate student experience. And I think because of that, students really benefit from really small classroom sizes. So on average, it's about 16 students would be in a class with you. And the classroom environment at Reed is really focused on discussion, collaboration, conversation in the classroom, really being a space where students can unpack and share ideas, kind of civilly debate each other, but really kind of get to immerse in that space. And all of the advising at Reed is done by faculty. So it's all full professors who get to guide you. And then at Reed, faculty teach all of the classes that we offer. So that's true of introductory level classes, but that's also true as you're moving through the curriculum and taking perhaps maybe more advanced or higher level courses. You get to know your faculty really well. All of our students also really get to embrace this idea of the liberal arts, where you might be a student who ends up studying in the arts and the humanities, but you're going to get to take a rounded curriculum outside of that. So all of our students get to take a first-year sequence called Humanities 110. You get to look at some great cities of civilization. And all of our students also get to do a subsequent senior thesis. This is a picture I was just going to quickly highlight. I know I'm showing you some different images of Reed, but it's a picture of our nuclear reactor. We're one of about 50 schools in the US that has a nuclear reactor on campus. And students can become certified reactor operators as part of their time at Reed. So, it could be just a nice addition to really kind of supplement your time and experience. On the kind of social community side at Reed, we really focus on bringing students into spaces that they can fully participate. And what I mean by that is we have no exclusive clubs or groups. So no fraternities, no sororities, no varsity level sports. Essentially, it's a place where if you see something you want to try, you want to check something out, you can. It's really designed to be very open and, a great opportunity for anyone to just kind of pick and choose what they're excited to do. This is a picture of the Reed Ski Cabin. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away from campus. So, the nice thing with the ski cabin is, for example, anyone can kind of go up there, sign up, participate as much as they want. We do a lot of guided trips, outdoor excursions. In the base space, there's this kind of lodge located space where people can study and hang out. The spaces above, it's a chance to, stay the night, hang out. There's about space for about 14 people to hang out in. We also have an equipment locker where students can really kind of take advantage of the Northwest. So you're surrounded by mountains, water, high desert. You're in this environment where you can really kind of get yourself outside. And so we really do try to create a balance, not only between some of the academic opportunities and the opportunities on campus, but really put students in a position they can explore the greater kind of Portland Northwest cityscape. And in terms of students that, might be drawn to read, I would say students who are really passionate by ideas, who are really curious and want to learn and grow. And I think that can present itself in a lot of different ways. We really try to get to know our students holistically. And what we see is students really are able to contribute in a high way to the community. Everyone at Reed, kind of during their first 2 years, lives on campus. So we're predominantly a residential campus community. Students will live on campus at least those 2 years, but most students tend to live on campus all 4. So we have 14 different housing buildings. We're also a community where we actually see students travel the furthest to attend Reed over any other college in the US. So I think you get this global perspective and outlook on campus. And a lot of our residential spaces have a lot of these shared spaces where you can have community together. You could cook a meal, you can hang out, you can watch a movie, on the big screen. And we're also a space that's really interested in kind of sharing knowledge with others, whether that's one of our most famous traditions called Paideia, which is essentially a space where you can teach a class on any subject you want. That's a really popular class we see a lot of our students choose to participate in during the start to the spring semester. Couple just quick application highlights, then I'm going to turn it over to our next presenter. Students can apply either with the Common or the Coalition application. Couple of due dates you can see on the screen. November 1st for the early rounds, January 15th for the regular decision round. We're also test blind, and we work to meet 100% of demonstrated need. The contact information for the office is there. Feel free to reach out to us at any time, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Reed College. Next up, we have the Evergreen State College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wade Arvey. I'm the Director of Admissions here at the Evergreen State College. Really appreciate the opportunity to present to you tonight and talk to you a little bit about what it is that we offer here at Evergreen. This is an overview of our campus. We're just on the south end of the Puget Sound between Seattle and Portland on 1,000 acres, 80% of which is untouched rainforest. You can see that through here in some of the pictures that I will share with you of our students participating in activities around campus. Part of the 1,000 acres is a 200-foot beach that's about a 20-minute walk from campus. This is the trail down to the beach. That is also a learning lab for our marine science students on campus. As well as a state-of-the-art equipment for media studies, animation. We are also included in that 1,000 acres is a 5-acre organic farm. And of course, various lab buildings for students to participate in. Just some highlights of downtown Olympia for you as well. So what's interesting about Evergreen is that things are done slightly different here than at other institutions. Evergreen isn't about tradition, but invention. Our learning model really gets students ready to shape a world that is always changing. And what I mean by that is instead of taking 4 or 5 separate classes every quarter, at Evergreen, you take 1 class every quarter. We call it a program. And in that program, you're co-taught by multiple faculty members who are teaching multiple subjects, and you're looking at the overlap of those subjects together. So everything at Evergreen is taught interdisciplinarily. So you're never getting one isolated subject, but multiple subjects together where you're looking at how they cross-pollinate, how they impact, how they influence each other, and how you can really learn from other things at the same time. So this creates a very dynamic educational environment and a dynamic learning experience that really pushes our students to the boundaries of their own interests and allow them to go as deep or as broad as they would like. Along with this alternative academic model, as you build out, you don't declare a major at Evergreen. What you do is we also have no required coursework for graduation. Students take what they want and build their own degree as they go through. So this is kind of a model of what it looks like. You kind of explore and refine your first couple of years, and then you spend your last 2 years really digging deep and focusing on what it is that you would, where you want to spend, or what you want to do for the rest of your life in a career after you graduate from Evergreen. We also don't do traditional grading at Evergreen. What you'll get here is a narrative evaluation, which is really a portfolio of the work that you do while you're here at Evergreen. We find that numbers and letters don't necessarily equate to all the things that you do while you're in school. And so this narrative evaluation really gives a holistic view of the research that you get involved in, the projects that you accomplish, your strengths, your weaknesses, really who you are as a whole person. And it really provides a solid idea of what it is that you're walking away with and what you were able to accomplish during your time at Evergreen. What that looks like here is students have 3 options for earning their degree on campus: the traditional Bachelor of Arts, which is a total of 180 credits, a Bachelor of Science, which is a split of science credits and just general education credits, or other kinds of credits where it's split depending on what it is you want, or a combination of those 2 degrees, equaling out to 225 credits, where you're combining both a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science. So depending on the direction you want to go, you can focus in one of those 2 areas. But that's kind of how it works out. Once you've earned those credits, then you have enough credits to graduate. But that's really what it is that we're looking for in that bachelor's degree. And really, we turn the reins over to you and allow you to drive your academic journey. A couple of the highlights we'll talk about with applying to Evergreen. As a first-year student, you'll apply online. There's the application fee. And what we'll need is official transcripts. And we're also test optional. So if you're choosing to apply test optional, sending us an essay in lieu of those test scores is what that will look like. And so that's it. It's a really simple process. As a public liberal arts institution, we're really open to access and really trying to provide opportunities for students to get in and have a really creative and dynamic learning experience. Here's the contact information as well as a QR code that will get you to an inquiry form, so you can fill that out and get more information. Please feel free to reach out. We're really happy to work with you. We're really excited about students who come in through the Mastery Transcript. We find those students do really well on campus. They adjust well to the interdisciplinary nature of our programming, as well as to the narrative evaluations. And so we find students who have Mastery Transcripts do really well in their transition into Evergreen. And thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Wade. Next up, we have Penn State.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me get my presentation up here. So thank you again, everyone, for sharing part of your day with all of us here tonight. My name is Isabel. I am an admissions counselor at Penn State. So just to introduce you to our university a little bit, Penn State is out in the East Coast Mid-Atlantic region of the US. We are a large university. Our main campus, which is University Park, is located right in the center of the Commonwealth, about 3 to 4 hours from New York City, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. So a great East Coast location with easy proximity to some awesome East Coast cities out there. Our main campus has over 40,000 undergraduate students within its population. And so we are a large campus, like I said, but we are surrounded by a wonderful college town setting. So you kind of get the best worlds of a large active campus, but a more intimate, close-knit surrounding community. We really, really excel and focus very much on career preparation for our students. You can tell the resources and the support we provide for our students with all the career fairs, career events and kind of recruitment events that we host on campus all throughout the year, reflected by our ranking from the Princeton Review here. We have over 300 study abroad programs. We have study abroad experiences on every continent, including Antarctica, that range from 1 week long experiences over spring break to the more traditional semester abroad, full year abroad as well. We are also a Research One institution, so we allocate over $1 billion towards undergraduate research expenditures every year, which means that we have the resources and the funding to be able to support and encourage our students as early as their freshman year to be able to start participating in that cutting edge hands-on research with their professors from year one. Despite being a large institution, we still boast a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So our faculty are very, very accessible for our students with their weekly office hours as well. These two percentages in the middle, something I really love to highlight because they really emphasize the kinds of resources and support, again, that we are providing our students to make sure that you are not only successful coming into Penn State, but that you are successful for the entire 4-year duration that you are with us for your undergraduate degree, and that you ultimately walk away with that valuable Penn State degree at the end of your journey. So this, a 93% first year to second year retention rate is about 12% higher than the national average. And our 85% graduation rate is about 25% higher than the national average. With a large institution comes a lot of academic opportunities for you. So we have over 275 majors. There is also an undecided option. The top 3 typically most competitive, most popular majors for Penn State are going to be anything in business, anything in engineering, as well as our nursing program. But I mean, it really runs the gamut. We have liberal arts, creative arts, performing arts, education, health and human development, earth and mineral sciences, ag sciences, communication, arts and architecture. So we really have everything for every type of student and every interest. Wonderful honors options as well. We have one of the top public honors colleges in the country, which is the Schreyer Honors College. So at the end, I'll give my our contact information. If you want to know more details about any of our academic programs as well as our honors programs, please feel free to reach out or just drop a question in the chat as well. We love our campus and our students to be very, very involved and active on campus. That's something that really stands out at Penn State. We have over 1,200 clubs, student organizations, activities for our students to participate in. And about 97% of Penn State students are involved in at least one, more often than not, more than one student club or organization at Penn State. So regardless of the types of interests that you have, passions, types of activities you're interested in, we have it all for you. Okay, and I just quickly wanted to mention, like I said, University Park right in the center is our main campus with over 40,000 students, but we do have 19 smaller campus options for students as well. If you're looking for a smaller campus environment, a different part of Pennsylvania, something maybe less expensive than the main campus as well, we do have multiple campus options for our Penn Staters. Now, quickly about our application process, very simple. We just require an online application, which is either our My Penn State application or the Common App, and then a self-reported academic record, which you will complete through our My Penn State portal. And we are test optional through next year as well, at least. So you'll notice we don't require essays, we don't require letters of recommendation, we don't require extracurriculars or lists of activities or anything like that. Our review is very much based on your high school academics, primarily your 9th through 11th grade grades, as well as your senior year schedule. And what I'm showing you here right now is just our middle 50% average admitted student profile to give you a general idea of what we would consider historically a pretty competitive application in terms of GPA, SAT, and ACT scores. And I know I'm coming up at the end of my time here, so I also just wanted to emphasize one of the standouts about Penn State is the size and the breadth and the power of our alumni network. We do have the largest alumni network in the world. So wherever our Penn State graduates end up after they finish with us on campus, there is a large network of successful and, again, very passionate Penn Staters that are always out there eager to welcome the next generation of Penn Staters into their network, whether it's professional or social as well. So thank you again for your time. Feel free to reach out to us at any time with more questions. Love to talk to you more about Penn State.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have University of Redlands.
Hello, everyone. My name is Belinda Sandoval, and I'm going to try. I was having technical difficulties just because I am literally sitting at an airport, but hopefully I can try and make this work. And if not, then I am just going to go and present to you without any visuals, which is not ideal. But my name, as I said, my name is Belinda Sandoval. I represent the University of Redlands. We're just going to forgo the visuals there. I represent a small liberal arts and STEM and professional studies and a create your own major institution. And so that is a lot, but the idea really is that at the University of Redlands, you can we're sort of a small school with a lot of really big opportunities. And I always tell students that even though we might be majoring in the same thing, or you might find friends majoring in the same thing as you, the reality is that you're probably all going to have a very different experience. So let me kind of go through just some basic features about the university. We are located in Southern California. We're close to Ontario International Airport, which is about 30 minutes from the campus, and we sit about 30 minutes east from there. So we sit at the foot of the mountains, but very close to the desert, the beaches, and the metropolitan LA area. We have about 2,000 undergraduate students. We do require students to live on campus, and our campus is one that is very inclusive with a lot of opportunities for students to be involved. We have over 21 different types of clubs and organizations. 21 NCAA Division III athletic programs, 70 plus clubs and organizations. And about 20% of our students are identified as recruited student athletes. So there's a lot there for you to contribute as an athlete. And if you're not an athlete, which I was not, and when I was in college, although I did not go to Redlands, that's okay, because the rest of us are Redlands Bulldog fans, and we have actually a very cool history and tradition of having led Bulldogs as our mascots, and we currently have one named George, who is very cute. We have our own sort of homegrown Greek life system. We also have intramural and club sports and outdoor programs is very active on campus, and they're constantly doing all kinds of different activities throughout, on the weekends and throughout the semester. So really, the idea is that we want our students to feel like they're in a home away from home environment where they are meeting friends that they will have for a lifetime and having the opportunity to really make connections with their faculty. We have over 40 different types of majors. We don't admit under a specific major. So when you are applying to the University of Redlands, we will actually take your academic interests as part of the application, but you are not bound to a major. And really you have until the end of your sophomore year to declare that. There are a lot of opportunities for research, for internships, for field work. We work with about 80 different programs across the world for study abroad. So again, all of those things really lend to having a very unique and personalized experience on our campus. We have some of the most popular majors that you're going to find at most places, like biology and business and psychology, but we also have some very unique programs like human animal studies, health medicine society, a communication sciences and disorders program. We do all of the pre-health, pre-med, we do pre-law, but we also have these 4+1 pathways where students can get a bachelor's degree and a master of arts at the same, within 5 years' time. We have a Johnston program, which is the Johnston Center for Integrative Studies. And I think this is a very, very interesting program, especially for students who are already kind of used to being in a sort of driven a self-driven environment. We have narrative evaluations as part of the program, and the idea is that you get, again, to really create your own major from scratch. You get to design it. You work with faculty to support you through that process, and will teach you how to, you know, and negotiate your contracts with faculty. I'll also share that we do a lot of really great work helping our students transition out of the university through our Office of Career and Professional Development. A lot of financing options to help you pay for college, one of which right now is our $24,024 for students who are not in California, who want to come to the University of Redlands.
Unfortunately, I think we lost our presenter. Hopefully she can get back on. I'm not sure if her audio is working. Her time was almost up anyway. So again, more information can be found at University of Redlands on their website directly, but I would like to invite all of our presenters to join me back on camera and unmute themselves for what we like to call our round robin. And this is a chance for them to share a little bit more of their professional expertise with you and hear a little bit more about their institution. So starting with Reed College, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Yeah, no, and thank you again, everyone, for your time this evening. It's a good question. I would say I always encourage students to think about starting at large events or kind of large particular ways you can kind of get to know a community. It's not necessarily like larger school environments. It could be, but that could be like fall visit open houses, opportunities like this, chances where you can like really hear like, questions people are asking, and then that can really kind of help inform your list and really help you hone in on what you're excited about and what you hope a school can offer for you.
The Evergreen State College.
Yeah, I always encourage students to visit campus. So similar to what Reed had said, whether that's through a traditional campus tour or through a larger event, pictures are really great on a website, but it really doesn't do the campus justice. When you get on campus, you get a really good feel for what the campus is like, what the community is like, what the people are like, and that makes a big difference in the success of what you end up doing and where you end up going.
Penn State.
Yeah, I would say for students, don't be afraid to reach out directly to this huge team of like admissions counselors, admissions directors, and recruiters that are at each university. It can be overwhelming to go through the college search, especially if maybe you're first gen or you just don't have too much experience with it. So don't be afraid to reach out. A lot of us obviously represent specific institutions, but we're also really well versed in just guiding students through the college search process in general. So if you don't know where to start, just reach out, ask some questions, and you can kind of go from there.
And University of Redlands. Belinda, glad you're back.
Yes, sorry, I lost contact with everyone there. I would also just say, I would echo what Isabel was saying. Making sure that if you have a question, that you reach out, that you really take ownership of this process, and know that there are a lot of people around you to help support you.
Our next question, let me pull it up on screen. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school? And again, we'll start with Reed College.
Yeah, I know I briefly touched on it, but I would hope the tradition that we have that I think really kind of epitomizes the Reed kind of campus culture and the ethos would be our Paideia tradition. So it's the chance for anyone in the community to teach a class right before the start of spring semester. So it's a non-academic week. Anyone can come and share, what they're passionate to teach about or what they're excited to share with others. It doesn't have to be in like an area you're studying. It could be your passion for baking chocolate chip cookies or astrophysics or whatever you want to talk about. And I think the other good reason to not perhaps forget as well is it's the topic of our supplemental essay if you decide to apply. We're really excited to kind of hear what you're interested in and passionate about.
Oh, sorry, the Evergreen State College.
Yeah, so for us, it would be just the alternative academic model that students don't have to choose a major. They're not nailed down to one thing or another. They really get to explore all their interests and explore lots of different things and kind of choose their own adventure and have complete creative control of their academic journey.
Penn State.
So Penn State has a really famous creamery on campus that has excellent ice cream that is world renowned. It's the students in the nutritional sciences and kind of food science program work with like developing flavors and learn how to take the milk from the cows that are on our farm facilities on campus to the ice cream. I think in like 48 hours or something like that, some quick turnaround. But the one thing I will mention about that is that Ben and Jerry's actually learned how to make better ice cream by taking an ice cream making course at Penn State.
Really cool. University of Redlands.
I would just say, that there are a lot of opportunities on our campus, that we're a small school with a lot of really great big opportunities for students to create and make their own education and kind of just steer it and navigate it in the way that they're in a way that's going to be most interesting to them. And I know my time got cut short, but that is definitely, if you took anything from my very short presentation, it would be that.
And last question for you all, starting again with Reed College. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Yeah, that's a good question. I usually share that, we do look to like activities and community involvement, at Reed as part of the application. And I don't necessarily think someone has to fill that up, like list as many possible things as they can think of. I think we're always like really curious to kind of know like, what those kind of key areas that you're excited about, like how you've been involved in those communities and how that kind of work might translate to building and fostering community at Reed. So I guess my advice might be, don't worry about maybe just kind of leaning into those, maybe top 4, top 5, the things that you've maybe done or you've kind of evolved in those spaces. I think those can tell us a lot about what type of a community member you could be.
The Evergreen State College.
I would say that there's no one answer. If you're looking for a golden ticket or a thing that's going to take you from A to B as quickly or as soon as possible, you're likely to be disappointed. Everybody's academic journey is very different. There's no one institution that's going to take you to where immediately take you to where you want to go. Any institution that you end up going to will get you there. It will probably look different. Even if you have something in mind, it will probably look different than what you thought it did or what you expected it going into it. So just be really open to anything and all the opportunities that you are afforded and that are available to you, and really search out and not be so stuck on one answer or one solution to any college decision that you have to end up making.
Penn State.
Yeah, I actually just really wanted to reinforce what Wade just said, that a lot of college applicants, like high school seniors, juniors, they feel like, this where they end up in college and the major that they get into is going to decide the rest of their lives, whether they're successful or not. That's not the case at all. Life, when you're an adult, you realize it's much more of a circuitous journey than it is a straight line. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to like have the one right answer that's going to dictate the rest of your life. If you're a good student and you have the focus, you are going to do great no matter where you end up and no matter what program you're in. So just kind of have faith in that and relax a little bit if you can during this application process.
Absolutely. And University of Redlands.
But I would say, all the presenters gave great advice and debunked, I think, some great myths. I think one of them is that maybe we didn't touch on too much was just cost, and the fact that cost, while very different at different institutions, it's something that we really recommend that you consider, and that you don't allow sticker price to kind of make you not apply to that place that you really want to be at. And sometimes institutions, especially private ones like the University of Redlands, can make it affordable for you to go to school there.
Absolutely. So that concludes our session today. I really want to thank our wonderful presenters for their time, their insight, and all the information on their respective institutions. And thank you all for tuning in and joining us. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/mastery. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.